Good morning, everybody. Good morning to you. Good morning, everybody. Good morning to you. Love y'all. Welcome, welcome. Come on in. See if I can find me on. Ooh, having hot flash. Sure can. Good morning. Darlene is still not feeling well. Good morning, good morning, good morning to you. Good morning, good morning, good morning to you. How is everybody doing today? Do 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 do. I sent the invite out to Christian Womanhood, so hopefully somebody will hop on at some point soon. Feeling a little warm, even though it's very frigid in Michigan this morning and today. It's supposed to be extremely cold today, and it will be warming back up after today. So just cold one day and then back on to normal. Well, a little bit above normal. A little bit above normal after today, but it'll be a non-white Christmas most likely. We're going to be in the 40s after today's cold spell. Good morning, Hot Mess Missy, Deb, Kitty, and Sonia. Good morning, Hot Mess Missy, Deb, Kitty, and Sonia. Good morning to you all. Oh, okay, Nicole, you're going to a concert for your son and daughter at 10:30. Whoa, 5 inches. We got like a couple inches overnight. We got a couple inches is all we got. And then that should melt after today. So hopefully, just trying to write you down. Good morning, Darlene. Good morning to you. Good morning, Darlene. Good morning to you. She was trying to find me somebody to jump on with me because it is a little difficult sometimes to go in by yourself. Wow. Yeah, we're getting snow and you guys are having days over 100 degrees. That's crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Good morning, Save Robbie. Good morning to you. Good morning, Save Robbie. Good morning to you. Good morning, Robbie. My Christmas season is going very, very, very well, actually. Well as can be expected. I'm not going to pretend it's crazy because it's not, but we have feuding children because of my oldest child, and we are trying to just deal with that and go with having two kids, having two separate Christmases, which is not what we really wanted, but it is what it is. Um, the oldest can't swallow his pride a little bit and be in the same room with his little brother. So we have to have two separate Christmases. Thank you, Save Robbie, for calling me sweet. That's very kind of you. And we're going to go with it this year. Then next year, if they still feel this way, then we'll make another decision. Good morning to Craig. Good morning to you. Good morning to Craig. Good morning to you. Good morning, Craig. But yeah, we're just trying to get through. I really got ticked at the whole kid thing and aw, Robbie. See, I don't like to hear anybody by them. Well, you have your hamster, but I don't like to hear about people being by themselves. But Nicole, I'm glad you and your brother are better. That's a good thing. I have never been feuding with a sibling that I couldn't spend time with the whole family. Yeah, summer and snow don't mix, Sonia. It just seems I was thinking about that this morning because I was watching Mel Mel and I was thinking about how, we grew up I grew up here in this climate where, we have probably 50-50 white Christmas. Um, Absolutely save Robbie. You'll be spending it with Jesus. I plan on going to church Christmas morning. We don't have anything going on much Christmas Day, probably. Um, so I'll go to church in the morning instead of going Christmas Eve because I do have one set of kids coming over, I think, Christmas Eve. So, and then just hang out Christmas Day right now. So it'll be fun. Right, Nicole. It is so dumb when it's done and then you think, why did you waste the time to have this fight? Life is too short. If there is nothing else that I learned in late 2018 and all of 2019 is that life is too short, way too short. You never know. I lost my childhood best friend and my grown-up best friend within a matter of a few months, and you just don't know how long you have with somebody, and it is just silly to waste it mad. There are so many better things you can do with your time, and spending the time with friends and family to me is so much more important. Um, God wants us to love one another and to be kind to one another, not mean and angry. That's not what He wants from us. And so I just think that if you have to put things behind you as quickly as you can, it doesn't help you to stay angry. And aw, Robbie, thank you. Well, I hope you can get some more sleep. But time is too short, and God wants us to be kind. And if you stay angry at somebody, it doesn't do you any good. It stresses you out. Stress causes medical issues. And it's just not worth it. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. Love your family, love your friends like it is your last day on earth because you just don't know. You don't know. Oh, good morning, Denise. Good morning to you. Good morning, Denise. Good morning to you. Good morning, Denise. How are you today, my lovely friend? Welcome, welcome. Darlene is still, just so everyone knows, a little update now that I've got a few of you in at least. Darlene is still feeling very under the weather. She's coughing a lot. She's very sore from coughing and hasn't been sleeping because she's coughing so much. Still very under the weather, so we need to keep the Crawley family in our prayers still. They need all the prayers they can get. They're all feeling under the weather, and they need to hopefully get better and get on the path to feeling better soon. Good morning, Amy Lynn. Good morning to you. Good morning, Amy Lynn. Good morning to you. Good morning, Amy Lynn. Welcome. Welcome this morning. Aw, it is really cold up here today, Denise. We're like in the teens, feels like 6 degrees this morning, and it's not supposed to get better today until late tonight and into tomorrow morning. It'll finally start warming up a little bit, but the wind is just biting cold, and that is not fun on an old, decrepit body like mine. But it is what it is. We suck it up and move on. They think our high temperature today is about 16, Nicole. So yeah, but the feels like temperatures are definitely in the single digits, and it's cold. And we don't smoke in our house. Right, and I both smoke, so I'm not the only bad girl, the only bad person. But we don't smoke in our home because of the smell, just life, we smoke outside. So good morning, Handmade Designs. Good morning to you. Good morning, Handmade Designs. Good morning to you. Welcome, Handmade Designs. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, it is just not worth the way it smells in your house when it's like that. Good morning, Mike Humphrey. Good morning to you. Good morning, Mike Humphrey. Good morning to you. So it does make me smoke less when it's freezing cold out, feels like single digits, and I know that if I want to smoke, I've got to go stand out on the porch and it's cold out there. And so it does make me think twice about smoking. And oh, okay. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Handmade Designs. But yeah, it's not worth it some days. Sometimes I'm like, "Oh, I'll just wait a little while longer. It's so cold out there." But I think it's good. I think it's good. I think it's a good thing. You don't want that smell and stain in your house and yuck. Plus, then when the grandkids come, we would not smoke around them anyway, so we would go outside. So it's just better to have it smoke free all the time and learn to live with it. Be a grown up for my grandkids. That's what I try to do. Yeah, secondhand smoke is very dangerous, and it's just not worth it. The kids don't need to be exposed to that. I I don't like the idea of exposing them to something that could harm them. I mean, they're my babies. Aw. From Mayo, Michigan late. Aw. Well, Amy Lynn, I'm glad you made it home safe. Okay, Robbie, I love you. Get some rest. And I'm glad that I could help cheer you up for a minute. Get some rest. Yeah, Denise, it's just important. I think it's important, we love our kids, and um it wasn't as much of a deal, I guess. I don't know, people did. Just a lot of people still smoked in their houses back then when our kids were little, and we smoked around our kids, and that wasn't the right thing to do, and I wish I could take that back. Um and now I would definitely never intentionally expose my grandkids to that. Good morning, Eli family, 1983. Good morning, Eli family, 1983. Good morning, Eli. Welcome, welcome. Talking about dirty habits and smoking outside at the moment, but Darlene is still under the weather. As for the few that have come in since I said, she's still under the weather, feeling very poorly, and we need to continue to keep her in our prayers and um never forget that they need to all have prayers and hopefully get them on the way to mending and feeling better soon. Mike, that's it. I wish I had a garage. We used to go to the garage outside in the winter when we had our house, but now we live in a mobile home with just a little step porch. So we're going to build a bigger porch hopefully this next summer, spring, summer. We're going to build a bigger deck with a ramp because I need a handicap ramp before I'm unable to use the stairs and would not be able to get in and out of the house on my own. I want to have the ability to get in and out on my own by using a ramp available before that's the only way I can get in and out. If that makes sense. But I don't want to strand myself to where I need assistance getting in and out of my own house before I can't do it on my own. And right now I still can do it with my cane. I can still get in and out by myself, but it's hard because the steps when I have fallen trying to get my walker down the stairs and so I know that it's not that before that's my only mode of transportation, a walker or wheelchair. I've got to get a ramp built so that I can easily transition from the house to a vehicle. And I mean, after all, the people that help me get to appointments and stuff, if my appointments are not when Ryan can take me, is my mom and my aunt, and they're much older. Good morning to Derek. Good morning to you. Good morning to Derek. Good morning to you. Aw, thanks, Mike. Thanks for stopping in. I appreciate you. Good morning, Darlene B. Good morning to you. Good morning, Darlene B. Good morning to you. Right, Denise. Falling down makes you think, oh, I don't really want to continue to do this and keep falling and really hurt myself. That's not what we strive for in our lives. So, got to make yourself a safe way to get in and out before it's too late, for sure. For sure. Good morning, Derek. Derek, do you want to come in for a little bit? I know it's not Tuesday or Friday, but I haven't seen you in a few days. All right, let me send you the link, Derek. Oh, hang on. I got to go back and copy it again. I don't know what happened here. Copy to clipboard. Some people so slow at this technology stuff. There we go. Paste. All right. All right. Oh my goodness. Sonia, that's scary. It is hard to do shopping. That's why I don't shop typically without my husband, which makes it hard to get him anything of any surprise when you Derek,
Morning, everyone.
good to see you, buddy.
What's going on?
Not a whole lot. Darlene and the whole Crawley family are still feeling terrible, and so
Yeah, she sent us a message the other day, and because I sent her the package, and uh, Kevin was still light up in bed, and he's like, "I want to look at the whole box, but I can't even." He's coughing.
Yeah.
So
He was excited to get his cars, though.
yeah,
He was
that's
so
what he said.
excited.
Now all the guys at work, they're like, "Oh, we have to find this guy because we need to find some of these cars."
Hmm. There you go. Drum
Yep,
up some extra business right there.
that's
Works.
it. Yes, Denise, chronic pain does suck.
It does. It is. It's hard on anybody, and it's hard on those of us that suffer chronic pain, and it's hard on our loved ones too to just see us suffer like this every day. You know,
That's it. That's it. Especially, how's your weather? I know our weather's been
our
real.
weather hasn't been as bad as you guys have gotten. We missed the big storm.
Mm-hmm.
But we got about 1 to 3, about 2.5 inches, I would say, here at my house last night.
Mm. Yeah,
So
we get
that's
just
not bad.
pure, we got pure black ice everywhere.
Oh,
Yeah,
you
so
guys got hit by that big storm?
yeah, we didn't
Yeah.
get much for the storm. It's just there was snow, then rain, then freezing rain, then snow, and then it was just annoying, very annoying.
Mhm.
So, but yeah, I went to go and see a play on Friday night. On Friday, that was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, a radio version of "It's a Wonderful Life."
Oh, cool.
Like they were literally set up like back in the 1920s,
Uh-huh.
or like a radio station.
Very
They
cool.
did, yeah, it was pretty cool. Something
Let's
different I've never
sing to
seen.
Lizanne real quick. Good morning, Lizanne. Good morning to you. Good morning, Lizanne. Good morning to you. Nicole said they got 5 inches fluffy
Yeah,
snow.
yeah,
That's better than ice for sure.
yeah. She's north of what we call the I-95 corridor,
Yeah.
so we always usually get, unless the storms drops, we usually get 1 to 2 inches, and New Hampshire gets bombarded all the time. So, but
Yeah.
yeah, Eli says arthritis in the hips.
Yeah.
Yep, it does.
It's my legs that are the worst, but and that's the part that I hate, that it's like if you can't walk,
Hmm.
it's difficult. A lot of things that makes a lot of things more difficult. Just like, any of your major abilities, like sight for you, Derek,
Hmm.
you lose one of your major abilities, or it's very much compromised.
Right.
It makes it such a struggle for everything. Though you have to change the way you did everything your whole life.
No, that's it. That's what people don't understand, and that's why um, a lot of times you'll see my posts on Facebook on. I've really met up with a couple of people on YouTube that are blind completely, and
Hmm.
they're just so amazing on what they've learned, and they're just trying to help me get along every day. And
Hmm.
it's a struggle. You know.
I'm sure it's a real struggle because you've done things in your life one way your whole life, and
Mhm.
then you had a stroke, and
Yep.
bam, blindsided,
Yep.
literally.
Literally, it's like we were. They, excuse me. On the news this morning, they had Savannah, who had her son hit her with a train in the eye,
Hmm.
and she had that whole
Yeah,
surgery.
she had that retina issue.
Yeah,
Is she doing better?
yeah. She still can't see. She can see only a little bit, but she still has to keep her head down for
Yeah.
another week or so. They said so, but
Wow.
man, that's crazy. She said she has peripheral vision, but not straight right now.
Yeah. See, it's like you just don't know. You take things for granted, and in a minute they're gone.
No, that's it. Who would? I mean, yeah, you have kids usually. I mean, they do throw something, stuff or whatever, but who would have known a train like that? Just
Yeah.
yeah,
I mean, how many times do you get hit in the head or the face with something from your kids?
Yep.
Good morning, Siosa. Good morning to you. Good morning, Siosa. Good morning to you.
So yeah, that's why I said you never know what life is going to bring each day.
Hmm.
You know?
That's why this whole thing with my kids feuding, which it's the older one, the younger one, he doesn't have a problem.
Right.
It's the older one.
Hmm.
And it's like, you guys don't realize how short life is. And, someday you're
Hmm.
going to be sorry you wasted time watching your nephews grow up, and because they won't see the other one's kids
Right.
for the holiday because Ben and his wife won't be in the same room with his little brother. That's just silly.
Right. It really is. I mean, when you have physical, that's why this time of the year is the worst time of the year because usually you try to bring the family together, and sometimes it just brings the family apart even more. And
Right.
you know, like you said, life is short, and you never know what's going to happen. And before you know it, all of a sudden it's like, oh crap! Like
Hmm.
I remember hanging out with him 2 weeks ago, and next thing you know, now you're not doing anything.
Right.
So
Right. That's just it. You just don't know what's going to happen in your life, and you can't. Good morning, Sandy Brown. Good morning to you. Good morning, Sandy Brown. Good morning to you. You I was thinking earlier this morning. My best friend Barb that passed away last Valentine's Day. I was thinking we usually got together sometime in January and celebrated our birthdays. Her birthday was January 6th and mine's the 25th.
hmm
So we usually got together in January and went out to lunch or dinner or something to celebrate our birthdays together.
right,
And I don't think we did last year because she was taking care of her mother-in-law's estate because her mother-in-law had just passed. And I don't think we took the time, figured
right.
out a way to get together.
And
And
then next
now
thing
that's
you know,
gone. Now it's
right,
gone. I won't get that again.
yeah,
And to me, that life is just not worth that. I'm not gonna
yeah.
not live every day.
Is what is Lizanne having a good bad day today too?
Oh,
So it says it looks like not good.
yeah. Oh, Lizanne, you had a frustrating day the other day. No,
Hmm.
not a good day either. I'm sorry.
Hmm. Sonia's saying the same thing. Her youngest threw a fork at her. She wasn't wearing
Yeah.
glasses. That was it.
Yeah. It's just crazy when you think about it. I mean, they're doing things as a kid,
Right,
as
right.
kids do.
Yep.
And you can't fault them for being a kid.
Nope.
Stuff like that just happens.
Kids, kids, amazing us parents survive. Exactly.
Hmm.
Yeah, but
For sure.
remember what we did when we were kids, though. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
I remember making. I thought I was in the Olympics when I was a kid, so I'd make a wood platform and try to jump over the platform and land in rocks and dirt. You
Oh
know,
my goodness. Yeah.
come up all cut up and everything. But you thought it was fun. Yeah, yeah, just won the gold medal. Yeah, it will be. But kids now they don't have none of that imagination to do anything that we did when we were kids.
Right. They don't. If they don't have some kind of entertainment,
Hmm.
they don't seem to be able to entertain themselves like we did. Oh my gosh. I mean, our mother, our mom said would be like, just, especially in the summertime, when she was stay at home mom, she was like, get out of my house, get out of the house, go outside and play, just
Do
go,
something,
get out.
right?
We'd be gone all day.
Right. It's like, and then as soon as the street lights came on, you knew to get home.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Exactly.
I mean, you came home to maybe have some quick lunch, or
Hmm.
maybe your friend's mom would make quick sandwiches for everybody. You know, you always had that. But you out there either in the pool, If it was the summer,
Mhm.
down by the pond trying to catch frogs or fish,
Yeah,
uh,
exactly.
whatever you wanted to do. And I mean, I remember go riding my bike over to my friend's house, and then his dad would put the dirt bikes on the back of the truck, and we would go over to the dump and just go dirt bike riding for like the whole day, and then
Mhm.
come back, and my mom would be like, "How the heck did you get so dirty?" We rode our bikes today. She thought I was riding my BMX bike. She didn't know I was riding the dirt bikes.
Yeah. Yeah, we rode our bikes. I'm dirty because we rode our bikes, played.
Right,
But yeah, I mean, we had to take a bath every single night because we were filthy from head to toe every single night
right. Yep.
because we
Exactly.
played outside in the dirt.
Yep. You didn't worry. You drank from the garden hose.
Yeah.
You know.
You could stop at a neighbor's house and turn their hose on and take a drink of water if you know, you can't do that these days, you
No
know.
way.
People
Nope.
are so funny about their stuff that
Yeah.
yeah, exactly, Sio. So it's not safe like that anymore. But nowadays, it just seems like the kids are all only entertained by electronics and
Hmm.
the
You don't have this
latest,
going.
greatest, hottest toy.
Yep.
You know.
Right. My mom would tell me because they used to have a pat. They had a patio on my grandmother's house. They used to at night. They used to sleep out there because that's how it was. And they didn't have to worry
Hmm.
about it.
Yeah,
You know.
we never. When I was growing up, we
Yeah.
never locked our house. We didn't lock our house even when we went on vacation. We didn't lock our house.
Yeah. Because you're not the
Now
one.
I lock my house every night.
Hmm. Yeah. It's crazy. It's. I mean, you sit there and like even here we have 192 apartments, but I only know 3 or 4 people that are in the apartment.
Right.
You don't want to. You don't want to.
Right. Good
So
morning, Michelle. Good morning to you. Good morning, Michelle. Good morning to you. Yeah, that's just it. Sometimes you don't want to know
hmm
what your neighbors are doing or what what.
yep. So
Yeah, Sonia, that's exactly how I feel. If the kids aren't dirty, then they haven't had fun. I used to not feel bad about when my grandkids
hmm
would spend the day with me in the summer. If I sent them home dirty, I didn't feel bad about it because we'd get out. I'd get them outside and run them
yep,
around and roll them in the dirt.
yep. Playing catch, doing whatever, just
Yeah,
tag or what was the other one we used to play? Um,
hide and seek type.
yeah, yeah, hide
We
and
used
seek.
to
But there
play
was the other
that.
one too. Yeah, manhunt.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, we used to love that. We always and with us being boys, we always had GI Joes and stuff like that. So we were
Hmm.
always out there with stuff.
Heck yeah.
Sonya said, "Yeah, if your kids aren't dirty, they haven't had fun." It's true. It's
Hmm.
so true. I mean, it's like, and I laugh because we had a situation at the we had the championships at the for this year at the racing club, and yeah, the kids race all year, and the
Hmm.
kids started crying because he didn't win, and so the mom took the kid to the store and bought him a toy because she felt bad, and I'm like,
Oh,
seriously, you gotta learn. You can't always win, and you're not gonna get a participation medal every time.
yeah, exactly. We have to teach this new generation of kids how to lose gracefully. That's
Oh,
what we learned about all that playing hard and,
hmm yeah.
you know,
Somebody has to lose, and you don't get a participation medal because you you lost. You're the worst team in the league. Here, congratulations. Here's a medal. What
right.
does that teach you? It doesn't teach the kids nothing.
No, it doesn't teach them to have, and then they get out in the real world, and the real world is very competitive, and everybody doesn't get the same reward, and they can't handle it.
Hmm.
They can't handle it because
Right,
they've never been taught to handle it.
right,
And now they're adults and they have skill
Yep.
in
No,
losing
no common
or
sense.
having
No
a bad day.
right. Right. You know. Oh, you didn't get that job, so I'm going to commit suicide. Well, wait a minute. What are you talking about? You didn't get the job because did you go in right? Did you do the interview right? You have to look
Mhm.
at what you did, not because I didn't get the job because this guy didn't like me.
Right,
You know,
right. You have to, yeah, they're so, it's got to be somebody else's fault because they're perfect and they
right,
have done everything right because they, I
yep,
mean, they always get an award.
right, yep,
So, yeah, it's hard. And it's
very
hard to
hard.
teach them that it's not going to be like that every time.
Mm-hmm.
I
It's
mean,
like,
just like in my grandson's flag football, um,
yep,
they didn't even keep score. They didn't anything. Like one team would have the ball and then the other team would have the ball. And it's like, come
what are they
on,
learning? They're not
teach
learning
them
anything.
some competition.
Yeah, they're
Good
not learning anything.
morning, Francesca. Good morning to you. Good morning, Francesca. Good morning to you.
Yep,
They're learning
she's
some of the
right.
basic skill of football, but they aren't learning the competition and
Right.
the how good it feels when
To
you
drive to
practice hard
win,
and you win.
right? Yep. If you lose, you have to learn what you have to do better to get to win. That's
Right.
it. So, but yeah, like Francesca says, there are too many jealous people. Yep.
It's always somebody else's fault. Everything is always somebody else. That's what's going on with my oldest kid, and he's not even young. Whatever,
Yep.
get over yourself.
I mean, yeah. I mean, a lot of times, some people they'll they blame their sickness on other people, and they
hmm
got to learn that that's just the way that God has made our life.
Right. Good
Hey,
morning,
Miss
Lizanne.
Lizanne.
Good morning. How's everybody doing?
Good, Miss
I've
Lizanne.
been
How you doing?
listening in the chat. My battery is at 50%, so
Okay.
I'll stay on as long as I can. But I'm
Yeah.
this was a great day.
Yep.
I didn't mean for when I was
Looks
making
like the sun
comments
is
earlier.
shining.
Yes, it is, but it's 36 degrees here. And as you can see, I have my gloves on to protect
Yeah.
my hands from my very cold steering wheel.
Mm,
I know it's Texas, and we're just this part of Texas just doesn't get the kind of weather y'all do,
Yeah.
but it's bad for
it
us.
is very, very cold here today, but it's only supposed to last today, and
Yeah,
then it's supposed to start warming up again tomorrow. So I
yeah.
can live with it really, really cold for a day. I'll
We got
just
we
hibernate.
got three days that they're saying the wind chill is going to be -5, -7.
Uh,
So.
uh, you know,
Uh,
not here. Thank you very much. Oh,
Mhm.
we've now when I was growing up and in earlier years past, the
exactly,
temperature in like
Sonia.
the
She
20s,
said she had a
18s, 17s.
conversation this afternoon with her son.
That the
Oh
world looks
wow.
But
wrong. Yep.
not bad. That's bad for us where we had to protect our pipes and all. But
Yep. See, that's why they tell us to keep our heat on at 63, so they don't have problems with the pipes here in the facility. I said, yeah, I
yeah,
don't want to be coming home and there's
hmm
2 inches of water sitting in my family room.
yeah, not good. You
No,
don't need
not
you
good.
don't need
Did you
problems
see?
putting a
Did you
person
see?
above you either.
You see that Catholic school in Alabama that if the priest didn't move the kids into the church, the kids would have been killed
Oh
this morning
no.
from the hurricane from the tornado.
Oh my. No, I didn't see that.
No,
The
I
the,
haven't
the,
no.
the church stayed up. They lost its roof, but like lost the top of the roof. But he moved all the kids from the
hmm
school into underneath the pews and everything, and the whole school was demolished. Everything was gone.
Oh,
Left of the school.
Oh my
oh my
goodness. God
goodness.
protected them.
Yeah.
Boy.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
It was crazy. It was on the news this morning. I'm like, are you kidding me? Because of course, with Kyle, we're always watching the Weather Channel and everything. And when those tornadoes were popping up, and 2 days ago, and we're just like, whoa, this is. I've haven't. I
Yeah.
mean, in the middle of December, you wouldn't think you'd be having
Yeah.
Nashville all the way to Houston. That's how long the.
Yeah.
It's only 26 in Central Arkansas today. Good morning to Misha. Good morning to you. Good morning to Misha. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Misha.
Good morning,
everybody
Misha.
in the chat.
Mm-hmm.
Good morning, everybody in the chat. I tell you, yeah, we didn't get any of those tornadoes.
Amy Lynn, you're
here,
right. That's just it.
but
Participation is only half of it. And if we don't teach these kids to lose gracefully, they'll
Right.
never learn
Yep.
true that.
that
True that.
it's all self-improvement. You can't always blame somebody else for your fall.
Yep.
It sometimes is the way you walk.
That's it.
Yeah, no matter how good you are, there's always going to be somebody that's better than you.
Well, that's it.
Somewhere.
That's how we try. I've been always trying to teach my kids that. Listen, you think you're good here, but there's always somebody else in the country that's going to be
Or-
10 times better
yeah.
than you.
Or in the
Mhm.
world. I mean, that's just
Yep.
the way
Right.
it goes. That's what the Olympics are about. There's always somebody, and you might be the best this time, but you may not be the best next time.
Right, and then that's why a lot of times in the
Right.
during the 80s and the 90s, when all the other countries were cheating to win, that's
Mhm.
not teaching our kids right either.
That's true too. That's true
Mhm.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Good morning to Carolyn. Good morning to you. Good morning to Carolyn. Good morning to you. Good morning, Carolyn. But yeah, I think we're doing these kids such a disservice because when they get out in the real world and they have to, the whole world doesn't revolve around them, and they have to answer to a boss, and they have to answer to a supervisor, and if they
They're gonna
don't
get
do
criticized.
the job
Mhm.
to a certain standard, they will lose their job, and somebody else will be right there to take their place.
Right.
Exactly.
Exactly.
And they're going to get criticized too in their job if they're not performing well.
Mhm.
Before
Right.
they're let go, they're gonna get some heads up, but you got to get used to being
Mhm.
criticized and not
Yeah.
being perfect and
No, that's it, and that's what
falling short.
with me running a couple of restaurants and being an executive chef. I mean, I would always critique my team. I mean, we were always weren't the best. We always weren't the worst either.
Mhm.
But there was days that even myself, I didn't perform what I needed to do. But at least
Yeah,
we
we
all
all.
had an understanding where we all talked to each other at the end of the day. Even though I'm your
Right.
boss, we still had a discussion saying, okay, yeah. And I'd be like, listen, I wasn't on my game today. You guys helped out. This is why we each need to work with each other. And if it doesn't, if
Right.
there's one
Mhm.
person that messes that up, that's why it doesn't work.
Yeah,
Mhm.
being a team. Yeah.
Good morning,
Well, my
AJC
batteries.
Magic. Good morning to you. Good morning, AJC Magic. Good morning to you.
My battery already dropped to 17%.
Yep, Carolyn, in the chat, Liz, Carolyn says, "Amen. I have two kids who try to run me over. They're teenagers too." Yeah, that we teach them that everything is going to go their way, then they expect it to.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
But
Like my
yeah,
son got a reality check this for basketball. He battled through, and didn't make the team this year. And he's like, I didn't make the team. I'm like, Adam, just consider
Mhm.
that means you need to work a little bit harder to make the team next year.
right.
Just
Mhm.
Exactly. Try out again. Don't give
yeah,
up.
right.
Just try harder and put some work in.
Well,
Right.
Okay, I'm gonna
but
have to
then he
bow
understood.
out.
He's like, well,
I'm at
okay,
12%,
it,
but I will get in when I get home.
mhm.
Okay.
Thank you. Love you guys.
Okay.
Glad
Thanks,
you're in there, Derek.
Liz.
Glad you're in there with her, Derek.
Love you too.
Love you guys. Y'all have a
Yep.
blessed day, everybody.
Yeah.
If I don't get to
Thanks,
get back
Derek.
on.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Love
Mhm.
you. But yeah, that's hard, and it's hard to watch your kid go through a struggle like that.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to let them have
Yeah.
their own struggle
Right.
and not rescue them every time,
Mm-hmm.
or you'll be rescuing them the rest of their lives.
Right.
And then
Right.
what'll happen when you're not around for them?
But then they'll just sit there and they'll just collapse, and that's not what you want. So,
No.
and that's why I like when a lot of people post the stuff that we used to do in the day, and what our parents let us get away with, but it was also learning. They were teaching us that, you know what, you goof up, you make a mistake, you get back up and you try again. You don't have to be pouting and crying,
Right.
and so. See, Denise is saying her oldest child is her strong-willed one. That's my son. That's Adam. That's Kyle.
Yeah.
Yep. And that's why I'm so proud of him that he still hasn't heard from 2 other schools, but he already knows. He's set. He's already ready to go. He's already signed up and ready to go.
Yeah.
So teachers are not allowed to defend themselves verbally or physically. It's classified as abuse. But if I told my teacher where to go, yep, exactly, Sonia. Yep,
Exactly. Oh
exactly.
my gosh, we would have been in so much trouble. And back
Mm-hmm.
when I was in elementary school, they did still spank kids at school.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't necessarily believe in corporal punishment, but there has to be oh, Carolyn, good luck with that. Her daughter's 2 centimeters right now with the baby.
Wow.
Oh, hopefully
Good.
before Christmas, baby, then.
Yep. Still got
But
it. Yep. But yeah, no, it's
I don't necessarily believe in corporal punishment, but I do believe in a consequence to your action.
right.
If you behave this way, this is going to happen, and it's going to happen every time, and you're
Right.
not going to get away with it.
Mhm.
And they don't have any
No,
consequence.
nope, not anymore. The teachers are too scared. The teachers are too scared. They don't know what to do.
They're
You know?
afraid for their jobs and
Yep.
everything, for even saying the wrong thing,
Right.
and
Mm-hmm.
it's just too bad. It's too bad that it's gotten to that point.
It's like, So I just, like I said, I wish.
Good morning, Laura Beth. Good morning to you. Good morning, Laura Beth. Good morning to you.
I
Good
wish
morning,
these.
Laura Beth.
I
Yeah,
wish.
you're lucky because your son got into his first choice school,
Yeah.
right?
Yep. Yep.
So, I mean,
But he worked.
but you have to have a certain standard to do
Mhm.
that.
Yep. And the nice part that his school
They
does
don't,
is they don't give scholarships until you have your diploma in your hand. They do
awesome.
not hand out. So they don't hand out no scholarships because they want to make sure that you are the kid that's going to be there when you go to school for them. And I like that
Right.
because a lot of
I like
times
that too.
the school will say, "Oh yeah, we'll give you $15,000 to come to school to us," and the kid's all happy. He signs the paperwork, and then he goes for the rest of the year and fails, doesn't graduate. Now that's
Right.
sitting there
Right.
going, "Now what do we do?" you know.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, exactly, Amy. You're right. Society is different. Well, yeah, I mean, it was different from when my parents went to school, but
Right.
you see
Right. It was different for us. Yeah.
you see a lot of the same things coming back around again. It's just being handled at as a different scenario.
Right. Yeah, they have different things, but we had different things
Mm-hmm.
than our kids had too.
Right. Right.
That's kind of the way it works. And our
Mm-hmm.
parents,
Yep.
every generation has their issues to deal with, but
Right.
Good morning, Dwayne. Good morning to you. Good morning, Dwayne. Good morning to you. But when
So
they graduate and they go out in the real world, they're going to be out in the same real world that we are in and our children are in. You know, our grandkids are going to be. Good
right.
morning, filming and Destiny 2. Good morning, filming and Destiny 2.
See, Carolyn got paddled and hit with the ruler. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Now that's
I used to get wrapped on the knuckles with the back of the knuckles with a ruler from my fourth grade teacher.
we had nuns and we had the brothers and everything for
Yeah.
Catholic school. Yep. They started getting rid of that. If we get in trouble at school, you got it when you you ain't kidding.
Yeah, exactly, Denise. Exactly.
You got the belt. Yep.
Yeah, and nowadays the problem is they're just not getting the same.
No, reprimanded. Nope.
Mhm. They get in
You're
trouble
fighting.
at school.
You're getting your computer taken away. That's it. Or you can't watch
Yeah.
TV. Or you can't. Wait a minute here. Time out. Wait a minute. Kid's not learning anything. You know.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And then it's like, oh, you needed your computer to do schoolwork? Okay, here, have it back. And then 2 minutes later, it's done.
Yep.
It's not how, I mean, we used to get grounded for weeks, and it wasn't pleasant to be grounded because grounded meant you had chores to do at home. And Destiny, do you want to come in with me and Derek? Come on in, girlfriend.
We did that special ed school. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. That's it. So did you see what Destiny made? Destiny and Tommy? I have new shirts.
Aw, awesome.
Yep.
Good morning, Santa Okra and X Aaron too. Good morning, Santa Okra and X Aaron too.
Yeah, delusion. Yeah, it is all that matters to those kids. And we understand their situation where a lot of the kids, that's all they have. They don't have a lot of the special ed kids don't play sports because there's
Right,
nothing there for them.
right.
So
Well, and a lot of special needs kids, you know, they have special physical abilities too that, you know, don't allow them to do some of that stuff.
right. Exactly.
Man.
Jeremy never got spanked. Timeout and grounding. Very consistent. Yep.
I think as long as you're consistent so that they know that there will be a specific consequence for this action.
Right.
And that is what I don't see. And then I see in my own grandkids, there may be a specific consequence at dad's house, but at mom's house, not the same.
Right.
And these single parents need to get together. Thank you, Santa. These single parents need to work together to give a cohesive, consistent structure to these kids.
Right. And that's what it is. They don't have that structure. They don't. Dad's in another city, handling his situation, his problems with his new girlfriend or whatever, and not worrying about the kids. While mom's sitting on the other side, trying to
deal with the whole thing.
Yep.
Yep.
I mean, I know personally from friends that I have, and it's the same thing where they got divorced, and dad's trying to be never ending. I'm the strong guy. I'll give my son everything I want, but it's not teaching them anything.
Right. Right.
I said child protection. Yeah, I pulled that a couple of times too with the kids, right, hon? Kyle or Adam, I'll call child protection on you. Go ahead, go for it.
Yep. Here's the phone. Call them.
joking like.
My sister Diane has with her kids when they were little. That
Yeah.
she would threaten to break their arms and legs.
Yeah, it's crazy.
She'd never do it, but
Right.
she threatened them to do it.
Yeah. Well,
Mhm.
you got to put a little fear in the kids. I hate to say it, but it's how it is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you do. You do. And delusion, I think they should do that for a lot of couples that use the court system, friend of the court system or the family court systems. They should make them take parenting classes together, the single mom and the single dad, or the divorcing mom and dad, so
Right.
that they can learn to cooperate together, even if they don't get along on a personal note. They need to be able to work together as parents.
Right.
When my generation, most of us grew up with our parents still together.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep, that's it. But then you had the kids down the street there that dad's going or mom's going, and you see the struggle that they're going through, and you're at home sitting on, well, I got my mom and dad, I'm fine, let's so
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, exactly. Kids have no clue when you get caught up in the system. It's so true.
Yeah, that is true. Exactly, Laura Beth. I think that it is important to, because the issue between two spouses when they split up is between the spouses, and it's not the fault of their children. And they need to still be able to work together for the sake of the children.
Right.
I think that that's important, and you just don't see that happening. You hear, parents bashing the other parent to the kids, and that's adult business. That's not doesn't belong on the minds of young children.
Right. Wondering if my dad's going to be home when I get home from school.
Right. Right.
So,
Right, Carolyn. If both parents aren't on the same page, the kids are wild. And they are wild. And I've seen a few wild kids in my day. Good morning, baby. Good morning to you. Good morning, baby. Good morning to you.
right.
Yeah, you're right, Laura Beth. There are some situations where it's dangerous for them to be together.
Dwayne, I was spanked and look at me. I'm normal.
Yeah.
Dwayne's not normal.
I was spanked too, Dwayne. So that's probably why I'm so abnormal. I think, Laura Beth, like my parents, my dad and my mom were divorced, but they did get along better.
Yeah, it's just crazy, You I mean, a lot of times, and I've seen this a lot too. The kids have their favorites, I knew if my mom would handle the situation, and my dad would be the one that'd be the punisher.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's opposite with the kids. Now my dad's more lenient. My mom's the punisher.
Mm-hmm.
We always have, like, with the boys, if they did something wrong, they have trouble coming to me. They go to Dina, and it's like, guys, just tell me what did you do, and I'll be upset. You will lose something, or you won't be able to do something, but don't keep on going to mom, because mom's too busy with work and everything. So
Right. That's the one thing that Wright and I always tried to do was we tried to make sure that we communicated and backed each other up no matter what. So if they were told one thing by their dad, I would be like, your dad said this, and we communicated so they couldn't round around both one or the other of us.
Right, exactly.
you know, your dad said this, and that's what goes.
Right. Yeah, sometimes that, baby, that happens. They try to make it, and a lot of times, and I've seen it too, where, oh, let's wait, let's stay together and wait till the kids are out of the house, then we can go our own separate ways. Well, sometimes that's good, and sometimes that's really bad. Sometimes that really hurts a lot of stuff, a lot of problems too.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I think that that's important all the time, is to back each other up. And even when Laura, you stuck in there you put yourself through a lot to keep your kids at a good emotional level. That's good of you, but made your life miserable for years, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But I just wish I see my own kids, and I wish that, dad lays down the law, this is what it's going to be, and mom overturns or says, well, that's not going to happen when we go home.
Right.
Or mom lays down a rule and dad doesn't follow up.
Yeah.
And I wish that they would work together better. And at times they work together pretty good, and at times not.
Yeah. Some things, and don't take this wrong, but some things everybody thinks that God's going to change things. Some things God can't change. Some people don't have God in their life, and so how is God going to change it if they're not accepting Him?
Right.
That's how I feel. You could have all the love for God in your life, but if that other person doesn't, how are they going to change? And don't try to change them, because it'll just make it worse for you.
Mom, what's the date?
Mm-hmm. Good morning, Destiny.
Well, good morning, Miss Shamrock.
How are y'all doing?
We're doing
Yeah,
feeling better. At least I'm up and alert and moving around.
I agree, Dwayne. Yeah, we are doing. Darlene's still feeling really crummy, unfortunately.
Aww.
But at least I heard back from her today. Yesterday, I was very concerned because I didn't even hear back from her until late in the evening. So I was worried all day, like, oh my gosh, I hope she's okay. But then when Kevin stopped in our chat, I knew she was okay. But I still, being the type of person I am, I want to talk to her myself a minute. Make sure.
I hear ya. Hello, everybody in chat. I hope everybody's having a great morning so far.
We are having a great discussion.
Thank you, Laura Beth, for stepping in.
Thank you for coming in. And I know you've been listening, but I know you can agree on both aspects, because even though you and Tommy have been together for so long, those are your kids, and trying to put the rules and regulations down for your kids is something that you guys had to talk about and speak about, because you might say something and Tommy might say something else, but you guys need to be on the same page.
Yeah, you have to learn how to compromise, and even if you don't agree with a certain way, that's when you sit down, you talk about it, you compromise, and a lot of times it can be very clashing if you don't sit down and talk about it beforehand.
Right.
I mean, there's been things where Tommy was raised.
Good morning, Food Forest. Good morning to you. Good morning, Food Forest. Good morning to you. There are times that and I would say that is not how I would have handled that, but I back him up in the moment so that the kids would see a unified force,
Yep, and
But
that's what's important, is um, being unified when you're in any aspect when it comes to children.
Right.
And so I know that Tommy was raised differently than I was. He's also
mhm,
9 years older than me, so he had a different outlook on discipline, on how to raise, on how
mhm,
to do this and how to do that. Where with me, I was very sheltered. So it wasn't,
mhm,
it's nothing against my parents or anything like that. It's
Right.
just they wanted to keep me safe, me and my brother safe.
mhm,
So we were kind of sheltered. So there's a lot of things about life that I'm learning through, as I
mhm,
go being with Tommy.
Right.
And
mhm,
so Tommy has made me a better parent. He has made
Hmm.
me
mhm.
a better person
Right.
for the simple fact that because I was sheltered, I didn't get the experiences that most people did. And
Mhm.
so it's otherwise I would just be sitting here
Right.
Good
talking.
morning, Leticia and Neville too. Good morning, Leticia and Neville too.
But you can see that with you two, Destiny. I see you and Tommy
Mhm.
growing as people
As
together.
a couple,
Right.
yep.
I
Yeah,
mean, I remember when I first met you, God, almost going to be almost a year and a half now.
right. Something like
And-
that. Yeah.
yeah. And it's like you guys were still clashing. You still clash a little bit because you still have your ex still in the picture. And
Yeah.
he's
To
still,
clarify, only
yeah.
because of kids.
Right. Right.
Right, right.
Right. That's understandable. But
Most of
like,
us understand that.
Yeah.
right. I mean,
You know, and he's still there,
hmm
but the thing is he's got his own demons he needs to fight, and I'm not gonna like for so long I didn't say boo. I didn't like I was so afraid that, if I disagreed with him that, and this is my ex, that, you know, he would come and take the kids like he promised. I mean, we have been through a
Mhm,
lot, and it took Tommy saying, hey, no, you need to stand up. You need to find that backbone because
mhm,
you can't let him get away with that.
right.
And personally, I think I'm the baby mama of the year because I am hearing a whole lot of wicked stories about how baby mamas don't let the dad see their kids.
hmm
And
yeah.
all he has to do is pick up the phone and call and say, hey, can I see the kids? And he can see them.
Right.
Mhm,
Um, you know, and so we joke about me being the baby mama of the year. But the
hmm
thing is, the kids are the ones that suffer when there's too much conflict.
right.
And I'm tired of seeing it,
Well, that's what we've been
Mhm,
talking about most of the day, most of the time, is that it's always to get that participation medal.
mhm,
If in school they didn't get the best grade, but this is what you get. There's a participation medal. You know why? Why are you going to give that kid that? Because he didn't exceed what he needed to do. I understand
mhm.
he might not be able to get to that point, and he struggles, but you don't have to give him about the participation medal.
yeah, kids are not learning how to lose fairly.
Hmm.
And that's what makes us adults stronger and helps define who we are because we didn't always win. And
Nope.
Exactly.
I'm going to be 100% honest. I hardly ever won at anything. I think the only thing I won was and it's not even winning, is I beat a girl that was on the cheerleading squad in high school. For a couple of years, she'd been on the cheerleading squad, and I beat her, and I felt awesome, but I felt bad at the same time because, you know, she'd been on the squad for a couple of years, and here I come and try out, and I took her spot. And she came up to me. Now, this was what was cool. She came up to me and told me, congratulations. She's like, I'm good. She's like, but you're better. And I was like,
Yeah, that's cool.
whoa, you know, and that's how it should be. I mean, she didn't have any hard feelings about it. And,
Mhm.
you know, so it's, you can't go through life thinking that, let's see, let me see if I can word this right. You can't go through life thinking that no matter what you do, good or bad, that's how it's got to be. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
You have to learn how to lose in order to improve, and they don't have
Yep,
that.
that's exactly what we were talking about. That you have to learn how to correct your own self to make your own self better so
Mhm.
that maybe next time you can succeed. But when we're not teaching these kids to lose at all,
Yeah.
then they miss out on that lesson.
Right.
Yeah, and
Now,
they're not going to succeed as an adult.
AJC was asked a question that I know I can't answer it. Maybe you guys can, but is there a strain with new spouse and the way you raise your kids?
I guess it depends on the situation, honestly,
Mhm.
because I, like in our case, Tommy and I have been together for years. I mean, the kids are 12 and 13 now. He's been in the picture since they were 3 and 4. And um, that's a long time. Holy cow. You know, thinking about that. But I mean, there really wasn't a strain for us per se. It was as they got older, I had wanted to shelter because that's what my parents did. And Tommy was like, you can't do that.
Mhm.
Like, you have to let them have experiences in life. And I was like, but I don't want to get that call that one of my kids has been kidnapped, or you know, something bad happened.
Right.
And he's like, I don't want that either. He's like, but they need to be able to spread their wings and fly. And if you keep them cooped up, they're never going to learn how to be a better
Right.
person. And so I was like, oh, okay. And there are some things that, you know, we do bump heads, but a lot of times, you know, if one of us is disciplining or one of us is trying to explain something, uh, and discipline is where it's really hard for couples who have been raised differently to
Mhm.
come together in. And so I personally think that each couple is different,
Mhm.
Oh yeah, for sure.
you know, but for us, it's like Tommy is the discipliner. I stand behind what he says. And then if I don't agree with something, I keep my mouth shut until afterwards. And then me and him will go privately
Yeah.
Mhm.
away from the children and we'll discuss it.
Right.
Because there are some behaviors that are just 100% not acceptable and you have to deal with it right then and there. Then there's
Yep.
other behaviors that you're like, go sit on your bed and that, you know, time out,
Think
whatever.
about, yeah.
And then you go and you discuss it with your spouse, and then try to come up with a plan on what to do next, and then you deal with the child. So it all depends on the behaviors. It all depends on and a lot of times, you know.
Good morning to Judy. Good morning to you. Good morning to Judy. Good morning to you.
Good morning, good morning.
But that's what I'm saying. I mean, it depends on how you were raised and how communication is key. If there's no
Absolutely.
communication, then it's not even worth being together.
Mhm.
You know, and that's the whole thing. And I've seen that. It's like with reselling, networking. You have to network with your own family.
Mhm.
You can't do that, then it's not worth you doing anything.
Right. So
True.
Baby said, I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, said, I think it can be easy to discipline if you discuss it before the kids are made people. Just Made. People just need to talk before they get that serious in a relationship, and that is so true. That is
I
so
think that
true.
can be definitely true in a way. But then sometimes you come into it, like I did with Ryan. I came into this relationship with one child, and then we had one together.
Right.
So we didn't have that luxury because of me. We
Right.
had to talk about discipline and stuff while Ben was not obviously in front of him, but
Right.
while he was
Right.
around because he was already there. But I do think it is important if you can to discuss that kind of stuff before. But sometimes you don't have that luxury.
And I've seen, because of being prior military, and you have a lot of like, I try to teach my kids when they're putting their stuff away, still military oriented. Roll your socks. Make sure it's all the easiest way to make some room in your room. And then there's other kids that just throw their stuff in the drawers. It's like, all right.
Right.
So I try not to force a lot of that, but that's something that I was taught. So I don't know I mean, if you're military, or if I came from a military family. I'm a military brat. My grandmother, my grandfather, my uncle, my aunt, myself,
Mm-hmm.
So if we didn't follow a lot of the rules, and I know with my grandfather, man, he grabbed your hands and he wasn't letting go. You were on the ground screaming, let your hands go. But so I don't know I know your son's kids are military oriented, right? Because they were in.
Right. Both my sons, yeah.
Right. Now,
Definitely.
does he take that approach with them? Do you know?
The younger one does more than the older one.
I see a lot of parents where some of them, if both family members have been in the military, they fully force that on the children. And then there's ones like myself and my wife. She's never did anything military, so she doesn't understand when I say this is how you have to do this is how you have to do that. Well, why you teach them that way? It's easier. It's a simpler way to do stuff and to teach them the right way. So.
I just saw in chat that Baby says that I'm a Marine brat. Okay, so I learned some information about my family not too long ago. My biological was a Marine, and I grew up on military bases when I was very, very little. My brother was actually born in Jacksonville, North Carolina, on the military base. And I think I was like 4 when my mom and my biological father split up, 3 or 4. And so I don't remember that, but I guess, would that classify me as kind of a military brat until a certain age?
Yeah. You didn't really get to see it and live the military brat life. And trust me, it's very different when.
But I guess he bounced from, even that short time, he bounced from military base to military base.
That happens. Yep.
So we weren't at them very long. But the one in Jacksonville is where my brother Rusty was born, and he went to go. So he was in the service. He went to go get his birth certificate, and they told him that he could not have his birth certificate because it was government property.
It is.
He was born on a military base.
A military base, exactly. It's
so
true.
He had to get a equivalent to birth control, a birth.
Not birth control.
I was going to say birth certificate. My bad. And that's what he has to use. But I never understood. It's a birth certificate.
What he has to do is he has to call St. Louis and go into the the military records, and he can have a copy of his birth certificate, but he can't have the actual birth certificate.
Yeah, because they told him it was government property, and I
Yep.
was like, so glad I wasn't born on a military base.
Yep. Yeah, it's true. When especially like if you're a family and you live and you're stationed in Australia, or you're stationed in Germany, that stays. That's because you're on a U.S. military base, but
Right.
you're American.
That's
Yeah.
a baby said it takes over 6 months to get birth certificate because they were born in Germany off base.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So, did you see that still makes them a United States citizen, even though they were born over there, but they were in
Yes.
their
Yes.
parents?
Because they were technically born on United States property if they were born on the base.
Right.
Oh, ooh, I should make my brother a coffee mug that says "I belong to the government."
There you go. There you go. Yep. Yeah, exactly, baby. Yeah, that's what happens, And AJ, no, it's military brats weren't always rebellious. And some of them were. It all depends on what rank and what your father or your mother did.
Right. In the military. Yep.
Yes. If your father was the general of the base or in charge of the base, you were going to be rebellious because you couldn't put up with anything. You couldn't do anything. But if your kids, if you were just an officer on the base doing whatever he had to, they were kind of fine,
Mhm.
So
Yeah, it's crazy. It really is.
Yeah.
And I did see in chat a little bit ago, about how with new spouses, sometimes there's stress with the ex. So in our situation, because he hasn't been in
there you go.
in the picture,
Hmm.
Tommy is dad.
Yeah.
You ask the kids, they will tell you Tommy is their dad.
Hmm.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
My ex is okay with that because he knew he screwed up and he's
Mhm.
got to rebuild that relationship. Sometimes he gets a
Mhm.
little
Right.
crabby about it, but
Mhm.
in the end, he knows he's the one that has to repair that relationship with the kids, and
Mhm.
he doesn't. He personally doesn't make a big deal out of it, but his brother, his mom, and his sister-in-law are the ones that make a big deal about it.
Mhm.
Mhm.
So we've had to, at this point, stop with visitation over in that area
Right.
because it messes with kids' heads.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And until they learn that they can't do that, I can't put my kids in that situation because they've already been through enough.
Hmm.
They need to respect that they are not the ones that need to be opening their mouths when it comes to the situation. We have it worked out. Everything is good. The relationship is rebuilding. You can't push it. And
Mhm.
that's what they're trying to do. And it's causing a lot more problems than.
Did you see what Dwayne said?
What's that?
He said you should say GI, government issue, on the mug
Oh,
for your brother.
GI. Yep. Government issue.
Exactly, Sonia. I mean, when my dad remarried, I just then had two moms that I could, if one mom wasn't available, the other mom was just as good for advice and loving us. And I was very lucky in that sense that the moms
Mhm.
were okay with that.
Yeah. See, I with myself, with my mom and my dad working all the time, I always spent a lot of time with my grandparents, so they
Mhm.
were always my go to if I had problems.
Mhm.
With a stubborn Italian grandmother and grandfather, trust me, you nothing. I get away with nothing. But I learned so much from them doing that, though.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't a kid that was. Yeah, I was a kid that was a kid, but I also had the respect because I was always around adults.
Mm-hmm.
So I knew what to do. So
That's true, baby. It is true. They have to be. Your kids have to be first.
Yeah,
And
yes, they do.
that was the one thing that my husband now, I mean, and he is Benjamin, my oldest, his father is not in Ben's life and never was in Ben's life.
mhm,
And my husband is who raised him, and that's who he calls dad.
right,
But if he wasn't going to treat my son with the utmost of love and respect, then I could not stay in that relationship. And I
Right.
think my youngest, who is my husband's child, gets that better than my oldest does.
mhm,
You know, he feels that way with his son, that if he dates somebody, they have to, he first of all isn't going to introduce them immediately to his son. And then when he does, they have to hear enough about his child or he won't continue the relationship.
well, that's it. Yeah,
Yeah.
they have to get to that point where, yeah, you might love the person that you're with, but as soon as that kid comes into play,
Mhm.
they might be a complete turnaround, and then that's not what you
Yeah.
need.
You know, and with us, it was weird because I didn't plan on Tommy meeting the kids right away,
Mhm.
but it happened
Right.
because we're kind of still on our first date.
Mhm.
I mean, I don't know, but you know, the kids just absolutely love him and warmed up to him immediately, and vice versa.
Right.
So I got
Mhm.
very lucky, very
Mhm.
lucky. It wasn't planned to go the way it did, but I feel like God had that all in the works before it even began, and so
Right.
Mhm.
it it was it was very magical and
Right.
very surreal for me.
I like what Dwayne put. I was always told you should always tattoo your kids or your mom's name on your body. Everyone else is replaceable.
Exactly.
That's it.
Yep, I
Yeah.
have both my son and my daughter's name tattooed on me,
Yep.
um, but I don't have Tommy's name tattooed on me. I'm gonna get a symbol that
Yeah.
I like, that I feel represents him. And well, I
Mhm.
take that back. I take that back. I don't have his name, but Tommy and I have matching tattoos.
Hey, Cooley.
Mhm.
Tattoos. I have, and it's a puzzle piece.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Right here, I don't know if you guys can really see it. He
Yeah.
has a arm tear out,
Mm-hmm.
and I have my shamrocks. Now in the middle, it's got to get finished, but I have to wait till I'm cleared by the doctor to be able to get tattoos again because of my spleen thing. Um, the inside of my puzzle piece is the inside of his tattoo.
Right.
His
Mhm.
puzzle piece is the inside of my shamrock.
Mm-hmm.
So they can easily be covered up if need be.
Yeah.
But we're stuck with each other. We were just talking about that the other night. He's like, as mad as I get at you, as crazy as things go, you're stuck with me and I'm stuck with you. And I'm like, yes, you are. There's no ifs,
Mhm.
ands, or buts about that.
That's it.
I laughed earlier because Sonia made a comment that I always behind the scenes always joke about. She said, I have 5 kids too, so my husband sometimes is my sixth. I have 2 and
Uh-huh.
human children.
Yeah.
I have a lot of children that are pets,
Mhm.
animals, but Tommy tends to be my biggest child in the home. Just
Mhm.
he's
Oh, Tina said the same thing. She has 3 boys.
Yep. I say that a lot. I say the exact same thing a lot. I have 3 boys.
I mean, it wasn't always like that. I mean, I was always capable of doing a lot of the stuff myself, but now with the medicines and everything, she's gonna make sure that it's there.
Mhm.
So I rely on that, and It's not fun, but you know, she's out getting.
Yeah, I it was hard for me, and I'm sure with the type of personality you have, Derek, it was very hard for you to become more dependent on your spouse. It was
Mhm,
very difficult for me, but
mhm.
now that I'm there,
Right.
I'm in a comfortable place.
It's remember it's been almost 4 years now. It's still a struggle sometimes because I'm home all the time
Mhm.
and the boys will come home from school. The homework's done. Yeah, let's go out. I don't want to. I get a little upset sometimes, but then I'm like, all right, whatever. You know, I just gotta let
Mhm.
it go. Whereas before, I'd be like, I gotta get out. I gotta get out. I gotta get out. I need to do something.
Mhm.
That's why my buddy Joe, when he has a day off and he has a car, he'll come and pick me up just to get out of the house.
Yeah.
Especially in
Yeah,
this.
that Ryan's really good about that, making sure that he tries to get me out of the house at least once a week, that it's not church, doctor, or grocery.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sonia, thank you for coming. Much love, my friend. Have
Thank
sweet
you,
dreams.
Sonia.
He's
Get
on you.
some sleep.
And I hope your back feels better very soon.
Definitely. Definitely. Can relate.
Me too.
Leticia's leaving too. See you later, Leticia. Good. Glad you could make it in.
Much love, my friend. Have an amazing day.
Misha just bought 12 puzzle piece magnets to put each of our pictures on. Josh and I and the 6 fur babies and 4 feather babies. Next thing you know,
That's
you're gonna
cool.
have to buy 12 more, Misha, to put all his little Hot Wheels pictures on.
Yeah.
Josh is all of a sudden now becoming crazy into Hot Wheels too. So
Yeah, and sometimes, Denise said, my husband has health issues and I have to help him a lot. No matter how I feel, I have to help him. And love does that. You always put yourself aside to take care of your spouse. And um, Tommy and I have been through a lot.
yeah.
A lot. A couple years ago, I almost lost him. He had
Mm-hmm.
major surgery. I had to take care of him during that time. And then when my spleen ruptured back in
Mm-hmm.
May, he took care of me. And
And that's when me and Tommy really became close. When
yeah,
that
I mean,
happened.
that was scary.
Mhm.
I mean, I think I was closer um, to passing away than he was.
Mm-hmm.
Not that it's a contest, but um, it was scary for him because I really thought I was going to lose him. They
Mhm.
had to air flight him and everything, and so I really thought I was going to lose him, and it was devastating. And then back in May, he felt the same thing that I felt because we
Yeah.
actually just, I think 2 weeks ago, sat down and actually discussed what happened because neither one of us really remember what really happened during the time that we were having our issues. Um, and so I told him what I remembered, and then he told me what he remembered, and then we just kind of
Mhm.
filled in the blanks, which um, at that point, that took a big stress off my shoulders, and I think it did him as well.
Well,
Um, but people do crazy things for love, and when you truly love somebody, you will put aside your difference, whatever you're feeling,
Mhm.
however you're hurting or whatever, to help your spouse. And I think that's amazing, Denise.
Mhm.
yes,
Well,
Misha,
you
yeah,
guys,
it's
I
crazy.
am like having trouble sitting. My leg is falling asleep, and
Oh no.
I'm getting kind of miserable. But I thank you, Derek. I thank you,
No problem.
Destiny, for coming on and joining me.
Much
Thank you so
love.
much. I love you guys.
Yeah,
It's good to have good friends that can help me out when I need it.
yeah. We have to
Love you
thank Liz.
all.
Liz was here for a little while.
Yep, Liz was here for a little while. Thank you, Liz.
Oh, I miss
And
Liz.
I
Yeah.
appreciate everybody in the chat that came in. Just baby, I'll be fine. It's just my normal pain. I just have sat here in this one chair long enough. I've got to get up and move.
Yeah.
But I'll be all right. I love you all, and I will talk to you soon.
Bye,
Much love,
guys.
everybody. Have an amazing day.
Okay,
And
how we finish it?